3, 2, 1, go! Hey guys, what's up? Jeremy Cruz here. Today, I just received this thing. This is the Zhiyun Smooth X phone gimbal. I actually reached out to them and asked them if they could send me a free one in order for me to do a review on it. One of the reasons why I was so interested in this is because of its price point. It's only $59. So here in the Philippines, that's like around 3,000 pesos. That's why I was like, whoa, let's test this thing out. It's not that expensive of a phone gimbal. All right, so if you first got this thing, you're wondering how to open it, you have to hold it like this, flip this around, and then like sort of just turn it like that all around. And there you have it. I think one of the coolest features with this is you can extend it out. So I just want to mention that Zhiyun has said that I should give my honest review of this. It's not just like I'm gonna try to sell you this product. I'll give you my honest review and say what I think. But honestly, I think it will be pretty cool. I'll try to show off what I can do with this thing. Okay, I finally got this thing set up in review. Basically, in order to start using it, you have to activate it by downloading the ZY Cami app on your phone. Make sure you sign up on the app to make an account, and then you just search for the Smooth X within the app, and pretty straightforward to activate it. All right, I'm gonna be testing this and I'll let you know what I think. Something I realized with this gimbal is the lack of the third axis really makes a difference, because you can see it kind of shaking like this. Right, we're going outside into the zone. We're required to wear any type of face covering while going outside, so. I think one of the main selling points of this is really the extendable arm, and to have that stabilization still as you're basically having a selfie stick is really helpful. Like, I think it's pretty stable right now. Running test, running test, running away from the... Okay, at this point in my testing of the Smooth X, I finally figured out how to make the tilt axis a lot more smooth. Since this is just a 2-axis gimbal, most gimbals are 3-axis gimbals, so this doesn't have stabilization in the tilt axis. It only has stabilization in the pan and roll axis. So at first, you might have seen in my clips, you could kind of see like this type of shake. But what I figured out, like a sort of hack that you can do to minimize that movement, that tilt movement, is really try to use it extended as much as possible. And then when you're filming, like if you don't want to hold it all the way like this because it's too tall, just hold it here. And that way you're minimizing the tilt axis. It's more stable when you hold it like this. And then you can even get your shots, you know, doing a slow tilt up, slow tilt down and stuff. Okay, let's talk about this thing. In short, my review is I really like this thing. It does help for vlogging and makes your shots a lot more stable, and you can get a lot of cinematic gimbal shots with this thing. So my review is thumbs up, worth the money. And I'm saying that because I was finally able to figure out how to stabilize the tilt axis. Again, just extend it like this, and then you're able to do more smooth tilt motion. And then while you're walking, you're not doing this as much. Because if it's enclosed and you're walking, you kind of like, you do this a lot and see it tilt. What it does if you're walking and you do like this, the tilt moves up and down, and you can see that in the footage. I'll start off with my list of cons that I have with this thing. The first con that I have, or something I didn't like, was this attachment here for the phone. It's not very wide, so it can't fit with the case on. With my phone case on my phone, it doesn't fit. For one, because I have this ring on my phone, so it doesn't really fit at all. Like, I can't fit it on. And the thickness of my phone case too is a little bit too thick for this, but it works totally fine without the case on. So that's something to think about when you're buying this. You might want to get a really thin case for your cell phone when you're using it. So this really isn't that big of a deal. The ZY Cami app has a bunch of features that you can use, like object tracking and like hand gestures. We tried it out, but honestly, we couldn't get it to work that much. Like, we finally were able to get it to work if you're walking slow enough. I was trying to do it while skateboarding. The object tracking would just lose its tracking like really fast when I was skateboarding. You have to have it track your face first. I don't know, it just got really complicated. We had a really hard time trying to use the tracking feature. So that would not be something I would use that often. Also, the motion time lapse in the app, the ZY Cami app, is really cool because you can get some really cool motion time lapses with the gimbal like moving left and right. The thing is, the quality of it isn't that great. So I wish what I could do was use like third-party apps like the normal camera app, or like an app like the Moment app where I could do like pro time lapses and then use that feature. Currently, you can only use the ZY Cami app to do a motion time lapse. Also, when you do tracking, it only shoots in 1080p and doesn't shoot in 4K. Something that non-gimbal users might not know about is that this gimbal is a 2-axis gimbal, so it's lacking the tilt axis stabilization. So it is not stabilized this way, and that's how they're able to get it that small. And so that is a minor con. But again, with that little hack of just extending it when you're using it, gives it a lot more stability. Especially also with the stabilization of the iPhone 11. And most other phones that have come out in the past year or so have really good stabilization. So with those phones partnered with this gimbal, it's actually really good. You don't need that third axis. Usually what I like to do especially with the iPhone 11, is to be able to film with the ultra wide and vlog that way. But you can't do that. There's no button to like have it flip 180 around to film myself. You can only film with your selfie camera if you're doing it this way. So that's kind of a big con for me. The only workaround for that is really to just turn the gimbal around and then film like this. Again, do this to make it more stable, hold it out, and then you can do your vlog this way. It can only tilt one way too, like the selfie stick. You can't have it tilt this way. It can only tilt this way. So hopefully this kind of info is helpful. Okay, next con, the setup process for this thing was kind of awkward, or like hard to figure out at first. It wasn't very easy to set up, so that's a con to keep in mind. But there's a lot of videos online showing you how to do it. So once you do it, you're done, you're set up, you're good to go. The last thing to think about is this thing really cheaper than most other gimbals? So that'll be something you'll have to do some research on. Is do you want to get a 3-axis gimbal to really have that extra third axis of stabilization? Or do you want the portability of this thing and be able to just put it in your pocket or slip it in your purse or your belt bag or whatever, and you can just take this wherever? I think for me, I'd rather have this than a 3rd-axis gimbal, just because it's so small to pack up. And that leads us into the pros. That actually is my first pro, is that this thing is so small. It can pack up into a really small figure. Let's pack it up here quick. Take off the feet. So we got the feet, and then you just fold this like that, and it's like literally smaller than my hand. It's literally like smaller than the height of my phone, or just about the same height. As long as you have the phone like close to being balanced, like you just have to have it centered and kind of like balanced there, then you're good to go. That's all you need to do for balance. So the motors are nice and strong enough for any mobile device. The battery, I actually haven't had to recharge it yet. That's after like maybe 3 or 4 different sessions of like 1 to 2 hour sessions of filming. So I'd say the battery lasts a good decent time, especially I'd say for me it would last a day if I was vlogging all day, because I usually turn it off when I'm not filming. So I'll just turn it off, and I'm not gonna be like filming every second of the day. So for me this would definitely last a full day, and then you could easily charge it after the day's over. And then here we go, one of the biggest selling points, the extendable arm. One of the cool things that you can use the extendable arm for is to get low angles. You don't have to like kneel down to the floor to get shots. And while you're skateboarding, that's really cool to get that perspective, just letting this hang and like getting shots while skateboarding. And also if you want to get like your pets walking around, it's really good for that. And then you can get shots that are really high with this thing. So especially if you're vlogging too, it's like, hi, I'm vlogging, and you take a selfie. And then that's really cool too. You can double click to do portrait orientation. So I did do some like Insta stories with this using the portrait orientation. See that? Just a double click and then it turns. And then switching modes is really easy too. So this is called pan follow mode, like your default pan follow. Basically it stabilizes your pan and your tilt axis. And then you have lock mode, you just click the M button once and then you're locked. If you quadruple click it, then you have your roll and pan follow. So basically you can do like cool matrix like shots going like this. And then you can triple click to have it go back to center. Pretty cool. Ooh, another really cool thing is that even if you're in your native camera app, you can use the record button here to record and take photos. So that is really helpful. The quality to me seems very high quality. Rubber, plastic. It's very lightweight, although it feels very durable. It feels like a durable product. Like it doesn't feel cheap. And then the last thing is the price. It's not super expensive. For $60 you get this thing, because a lot of other phone gimbals I see they're usually around $100 or over $100. But let me know, what is your price range for a phone gimbal? What kind of price are you looking for your phone gimbal? Is this something that you would buy? So hopefully this information was really helpful to you. Let me know if you have any questions. Again, I really enjoyed using this, and thank you again Zhiyun for sending me this gimbal, and it'll definitely be a fun tool in my toolkit for filmmaking. So thanks so much. Thanks so much for watching. That's it for this video. I will see you next time. Bye-bye.